I'm Dr. Jordan Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Today, we are going to talk about something that superwomen do not like to admit, a hidden compulsion that we need to bring to the surface if we ever want to experience the fullness, the radiance, the freedom that comes from true intimacy, great sex, and connected relationships. Our topic today is control. I can feel your resistance from here, thinking, I'm not controlling, I've worked on it, but go with me. We're going to talk about the two types of control that I see superwomen struggle with, signs that you are controlling, you are still controlling, allowing versus controlling, what is underlying our controlling tendencies, and tips to improve your control if we in fact do find out that you're controlling. But if you're a superwoman, you probably are. And I can say that because this is something that I work on, I have still worked on to this day. And I want you to go with me on this episode. Feel your resistance, allow it. This episode is going to save you thousands in therapy because you'll be able to see the problem for what it is instead of circling and circling around it. So speaking of controlling, I am recording this episode at night in my jammies, in my loungewear. Because I had a very hectic 2 days. We're doing enrollment for the Feminine Mentorship, my year-long women's group. And I have contractors still coming to the house. I had a podcast guest cancel. Long story short, I was going to jam in this recording tomorrow during the day. But then it occurred to me, I felt inspired to record it tonight. My kids are all in bed, and I thought, I was literally not going to record this because I wasn't dressed in professional attire. And then I thought, maybe I can record it with just audio. And then I thought, fuck that. The episode's on controlling. So we're going to let go and go with it. The information is still the same, regardless of the fact that I'm wearing a tank and a sweater. I want you to take a minute to imagine what life would be like if you were fully supported, fully seen, fully fucked. Imagine you're in excess. So think of a time you were having amazing sex or things were going your way. You just felt so good, seen, supported. How would you lead? How would you parent? How would you connect? How would you love? We're going to talk about how control is going to undermine all of that. But I want you to hold that vision because that's where we're going. That's where we want to go. Before I go any further, there are a lot of new listeners. I am Dr. Jordan Wiggins, naturopathic doctor and feminine burnout and intimacy coach. I help CEOs and founders who want to be as badass in the bedroom as they are in the boardroom. I want to let you know that I get it. I have been there too. A burnt out, divorced owner of a 7-figure women's health clinic feeling stuck, exhausted, and struggling for inspiration and connection. Happy to report that I am now a fulfilled CEO of my own business model. I am a mother, a stepmother, a doctor, a friend, a lover, a women's sexual health and wellness advocate. And I believe that great sex is just the beginning. Everything comes when we learn how to take off our Superwoman cape and receive better sex, better health, and more wealth. So now that we are a little better acquainted, because I'm going to get up in your grill on this one, just wanted you to know a little bit about my background before I did so. Two types of control I see come up in the bedrooms and relationships of superwomen. Number one, overt control. Overt control, we know these things. We like our laundry folded in a certain way, our house cleaned in a certain way. I don't know how many CEO superwomen think they don't think twice about delegating a task in their company, or maybe they've worked towards it coming easier for them to delegate, but they struggle to do so in relationships. Dishwasher is another example. You like the dishwater loaded in a certain way. You like picking your own produce at the grocery store. And I have heard this over and over and over. Women that make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars a year, and instead of having their groceries delivered, or they're hiring a PA or house manager to do it for them, they object because they want to make sure that they don't get the bruised apple. I'm going to give you a little example of overt control. I am going to do a photo shoot and attend a conference in the next couple weeks. So I'm going to be away. I haven't been away from my daughter for this long since she was born. So got into telling we were in a discussion about childcare and what things would look like while I'm gone. I can't wait to share more about this photo shoot with you soon. And it got into me telling my partner how bedtime should go for our daughter and his two children while I was away. So, needless to say, that was uber controlling. And yes, I am normally the one that does bedtime. And yes, I thought that I knew better. But when I took a step back and we had a discussion, we came up with a solution that was better for both of us. But small example of the superwoman control from this very morning. The second type of control that I see is what I call covert control. It's the sneaky ways we control. It's the ways that we aren't honest with ourselves about our control. We disguise it as other things. So it might appear as fixing or trying to help someone. So the truth is, we probably do know better. You're a superwoman. You can think 10 steps ahead for everyone. You can think of all of the possibilities, all sides of the coin. Our conditioning as girls to keep the peace, make everyone happy in our homes, conditioned us. It made sure that we were able to fix and solve problems like a motherfucker. But that's where we go wrong. Fixing, being able to predict, being able to pivot, being able to see all of the possibilities is an amazing, amazing asset in the boardroom. But it puts us at a disadvantage in the bedroom, in relationship. So it's the age old, do we want to be right or do we want to be in love, have great sex, have connected relationships? So we may very well be right about how to do things and seeing problems coming and most likely what's going to happen. However, this erodes the fabric of a good relationship because we are still trying to control. And our dirty little secret is that's the way we like it. Or that's the way we think we like it, because we just haven't been taught that there's another way. So our control on some level is serving us. We like to be in charge. We need to be the planners, the fixers, the air traffic controller. And again, there is a time and a place for this. So when we are managing teams and growing companies, it is an amazing, amazing asset. However, in relationship, it makes our partner feel disrespected, like a child, and it makes us feel alone and unsupported, like no one is stepping up for us. We love to tell ourselves that we're just really being helpful. We pride ourselves in being there for others, on being the first to show up in a crisis, on stepping up and helping out, even when no one asked us. And that's another truth bomb I'm going to drop on you right now, that all the helping that we do, if we're not mindful about where it's coming from, that can have a sneaky little hint of control as well. We're really good at convincing ourselves that we have to help, that our intuition is telling us he's not ready yet. Deep down, she knows, she just can't communicate those feelings. Or I know in my heart this is what's best for them. These, or I heard this one today actually, because this has been coming up in my one on one coaching. We're going to have a big conversation on this in my feminine mentorship group tomorrow morning. The I know what's best for someone else. That's the definition of self sacrifice and control. We are deciding for someone what is best for them, and we are minimizing our true needs. But what is the over giving and over functioning really giving us? The sense of control, which gives us a sense of safety. And in reality, it's a fucked up mother child relationship dynamic. So we feel like we're the controller and no one around us is stepping up to support us. You may not identify with being controlling because of the negative stigma we have associated with those controlling women. But the truth is, a lot of us have had to be controlling. We were raised in a way where we had to outperform to get attention. We needed to do twice as good to be considered half as good as our male classmates. I don't know how many times I heard that one growing up. We've been taught that being quiet and being helpful is far more valuable than letting loose, letting go. And we have been conditioned to feel guilty and horrible when we have to say no. So let's get into some signs that you might be controlling more than you might think. Number one, you find yourself telling others you should, or what you have to do next is. These are subtle ways of expressing your will and asserting control over your loved ones, colleagues, whoever you're having a conversation with. Number two, you offer or give help before you are even asked. Or someone asks for help with A, but you provide help with ABC because you just know they need it and it's all related. This is a way of doing what you think is best under the guise of being helpful. Number three, you're not happy with support and help from others unless it is up to your standards. You have to reload the dishwasher. You have to give your opinion on how the diaper should be changed. You even have to control the way you receive instead of just enjoying and feeling grateful for it. Number four, you feel hurt when others don't take your advice or make a different choice from the one that you suggested. Number five, when new people come into your life, you find yourself annoyed that they don't do things the way you would. They don't show up 15 minutes early. They don't do the dishes at your house after dinner. But why? If it's so common, there has to be a reason that superwomen and control go hand in hand. And it all comes down to fear. Control has kept us safe. It has helped us manage the fear that we have felt, probably since childhood. But it does not get us the intimacy that we want as adults. Fear of not being good enough, fear of not being worthy, fear of people leaving you. You insert yourself as an integral part into everyone's lives, even your employees. Because if you over function, then they can't leave you, right? And if you can control them by fixing, by helping, and then they can't leave, then they can't disappoint you, they can't let you down, they can't not show up for you because it's already done and it's already done right because you took care of it. You did it your way and you didn't even give them a chance to try. So you're protecting yourself from the hurt and the pain that comes when people let you down. When others don't give you the effort that you give them. So you control to top it up, that's the over functioning part, and you make sure that you never have to sit with those feelings of disappointment because you expect perfection of yourself and you expect perfection of those around you. So you raise that bar so that you're not even handing over the steering wheel. The truth is that no one is perfect. No one is you. No one will ever do things the exact way that you do them. It is just a protection mechanism. So that's another podcast altogether. Control is taking away agency from the people that you love to make their own decisions, to feel the way they want to feel, to take the action that they want to take. And you're doing it in the name of knowing better, which is really self-protection. And I know you don't want to make them feel like useless, incompetent, reprimanded children. And in order to restore the balance in your relationship, you're going to have to start letting the controlling go. And this is a process. This is not something that if you're having light bulbs go off and you're thinking, holy shit, I need to work on this. This will not be a box to check, a one and done. This is work. I got off on a little tangent there. So, controlling is actually stopping you from having real love. It's stopping you from loving the person as they really are because you're only loving, engaging, being in a relationship with a version of them that they can control. So they're not even really getting to be their full selves in a relationship. Remember when I asked, like, what would life be like when you're seen, fulfilled, well fucked, all of you, not just parts of you? This is the same. It goes hand in hand with your partner. It's hard to do the letting go part. Let's face it. Like I told you, we've had this conditioning since we were little children. So it's scary when you've never trusted anyone and you've relied on yourself and you've never trusted yourself to be okay, even if your worst fears do come true. And this is where our work is. Trusting ourselves enough to know that no matter what, the joy, connection, love, passion that we seek is truly ours. It's what we're destined for. And it's about trusting others enough that they will still show up for you, even when you're not over functioning and you give them the space to fail. The space is the scary part. You deserve a partner that will show up for you on their own free will, not feeling forced, coerced, guilted into doing it. You deserve the friends that will save you a seat at the restaurant without asking. The hardest part is allowing the space for that to happen. The surrendering part, where you have no control over how the people that you love, how the people that work for you are going to act and show up for you or disappoint you. If you really think about it, we don't want to give them space because we fear that they will not show up the way we want them to. And that would hurt and we would feel crushed. Waiting, surrendering, allowing, trusting, these are feminine traits that are hard for superwomen because we have such a belief that people will leave, that we're not good enough unless we are earning our love, over functioning for our love, providing value, real love, something that I think we all seek, something that is not represented in movies, TV shows, something that is not even what I think we all think we're searching for, but I think it's what we all really want. So, real love is something that I look for in relationships, friendships, and it is free from fear, free from control, free from asserting your will onto another. Real love is selfless. Real love, the divine, feminine, life force energy, it gives without expecting anything in return. That true acceptance for yourself and for others is what's going to fill that hole, that emptiness where you felt like you're not good enough, where you felt like you needed to earn your love by achieving, where you felt like it is not even safe enough to let someone else step up for you. And this is some deep shit. We need work on it. I made that comment about therapy. I think we should all go to therapy and you should consult your therapist if you are really struggling with these abandonment, attachment, codependency wounds. But I just want us to see how deeply rooted this is in us, and true acceptance for ourselves and others is what is going to help start filling that hole that tells you you weren't good enough, because people will show up for you. You have to let them. You have to give them the space to do so. And you will help people from your genuine heart, where you're not expecting, fixing, manipulating in return. And these interactions are going to feel so much better, so much fuller, so much cleaner. If this resonated with you, here are my tips for dipping your toe into a world where you aren't in control anymore because you choose not to be, where you're only responsible for you and you can take the armor off, stop wasting the energy, and connect authentically like I know you've been craving. And this is friendships, children, employees, romantic partners. So, my tips on ways to stop controlling in your day to day life. Number one, this is a biggie. This one took me about a year to unpack myself. So, let's go easy. Let's give this one space. Get honest with yourself. Do you really want to have the role of fixer and controller? Like I said, maybe at work this serves you, but what about romantic partnership? Do you want to fix and control, or do you want to be cared for? So that's where we're out of alignment. And admitting this is hard for superwomen because we've been conditioned to be lone wolves. I don't need anyone. I can do this myself. And in fact, we will often refuse help, or if help is offered, we almost take offense to it. Like, you mean you don't think that I can do this on my own without all the other million things that I have to do? So, do we want to be in a relationship where we can take our cape off sometimes and let someone else be there for you? It was this whole unwinding for me when I was like, holy shit, I don't want to be the strong one. I don't want to be the one with all the answers. I don't want to be the one always on, always thinking. I actually deeply desire to be cared for, desire to relax into someone's arms. And I desire sometimes, like, again, this is flow, this is yin and yang, masculine and feminine. It's dynamic, it's not stagnant, but I had zero yin, zero, which is why I had to tattoo it here to remind myself every day. There's something to be said for softening and allowing space and allowing yourself to be cared for when it comes to intimacy. So basically, be honest with yourself. If your true desire is to be cared for, but you are constantly stuck wearing the pants in the fixing, controlling role, we have an incongruency there, and nothing's going to feel great in that relationship. Tip number 2, I want a little reframe because, like I said, we're not going to go from being controllers, fixers for decades to just being able to turn this off. In fact, you probably still don't even see a lot of the ways that you are controlling. But I want you to start using this reframe. So ask yourself, if they blank, load the dishwasher, fold the laundry, 70% the way I would do it, is there any real harm being caused? And if no, is it worth your energy, bandwidth, making them feel like a child? Is it worth disrupting your polarity on this? So, this is just going to help us shift that, help us soften the perfectionist tendencies that tend to kick up. Number 3, before we jump into fixing or offering advice, ask, what do you think you should do? What feels like your most aligned next step? So we are not offering an opinion, we're actually holding the space for someone to let us know what the fuck they want to do. And if they do not ask for your opinion, shut up. Shut up. And you'll see it's going to be uncomfortable at first, but it will start to make your relationships feel so much more connected. Tip number 4, can I let this be, let this ride for 2 days to see if I still feel the same about it? So, for example, I am PMSing, about to get my period any day now, and everything feels like a 10 out of 10. The most situation, my feelings, everything is heightened. So, it's not a great time for me to engage in these conversations. In fact, I mentioned about the bedtime and me being controlling and overbearing and those old patterns kicking up for me, they came from fear. I actually said, I am feeling super hormonal and emotional right now. Can we talk about this after I get my period? And he was like, for sure. Happy to not do this when you are extra right now. Tip number 5. Do I want to be right, or do I want a loving, connected relationship? So anytime you go to use the excuse that it is not up to my standard or they're not doing it the right way, that is not loving. That is control. Love is selfless. We give without any expectation of anything in return. I hope that was helpful. I hope that some of you are as mind blown as my coaching clients, that we've been having so many of these conversations over the past few weeks. And I felt called to share this information with all of you. Superwomen, we are very good at looking like we have it all together on the outside and being a mess on the inside with our health, with mentally, emotionally. in our intimate relationships. So I see you and want to tell you a little truth about what's going on with me. So today, what are we going to talk about? Q&A. And just, I want to say, so many of you have already applied for the Feminine Mentorship. You've filled out the application. You are on the wait list. It is so exciting. And these are the women that are refusing to go into 2024 feeling overwhelmed, feeling exhausted, not feeling desired and connected in their personal lives. We are going to be officially opening enrollment in a few weeks, and space is limited. I am taking 15 women. If my work speaks to you, if you want, like if you cannot tolerate another day and you want to go into 2024 feeling connected, desired, fulfilled, energetic, listen up. And several of you wrote on your applications, I heard your podcast, I saw your post, and it was like you were speaking to me. If that is you and you are ready to invest in yourself, you are ready to change, you are ready to be a part of an amazing community of women. If you saw some of the posts and footage of our Arizona retreat, if you are ready to reconnect your relationships in all of them, friendships, children, coworkers, if you want to have better, more connected sex, maybe you want to squirt for the first time. 3 of our members learned how to do that. And if that's not your thing, that's cool. But that was on the list for them. So they were super pumped about that. We go on a journey for you to learn how to ask for and receive more pleasure. Something foreign to Superwomen. We know how to excel, achieve, overgive, work hard to get things done. But learning to have a balance, some ease, some flow, asking for help, letting it be okay to be helped, learn how to be vulnerable, learn how to feel our feelings, not just think them. If you want to learn another way so that you can access that when it is necessary, like we got the Superwoman cape, we're good at that. That is not going away. The CEO will not die. But if you are ready to do things differently in life, in your relationships with more pleasure, joy, ease, connectedness, go to the link in the show notes, thepleasurecollective.com/feminine mentorship, and fill out an application. Get on the wait list. I'm going to be starting interviews next week, and we will be officially opening enrollment soon. But if you want to get in early, I've got some extra bonuses and discounts for you. Have a great week, everybody. If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.